Hey everyone, it's Maribel Blue with a new Pathetically Unfiltered. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. I do news and reactions. And if you are not new, welcome back. Before we get started, just a reminder that I am still doing my fundraiser for my Servboxx store. And if you know what Servboxx is, or if you don't know, it is a spa and metaphysical store. And actually, I have one of the soaps here that is on sale for the box. This is the Himalayan soap. It's very big bars. And the lotion, as I explained to you in a previous video, this is an unscented lotion. Excellent for the skin. Actually has no scent at all. If you're interested, the links will be down below and there will be a direct link to that fundraiser. So if you can help support small business, you are keeping this business alive. Now let's get started with the news because it is crazy what is going on here. This may be a little bit of a longer video because I am doing reactions of these MAGA influencers who were so gung-ho about Donald Trump, and we all know why, because it was making them money, and you all fell for it because I'm sure that your pockets is just as rich as mine. Because I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, like my pockets are well and full, maybe fuller than most MAGAs. But let's be real here. We are not in the 1%. So for these people to feed you a bunch of lies, and now they're turning around, oh, well, this is not what we voted for. Yeah, you did. Your skin color is just like Donald Trump. You voted for white supremacy. So I'm going to go ahead and share this Don Lemon video where he brings up all of these receipts, and then we're going to discuss. Now, before we do get started, I do want to say I have my handy note cards. I do have timestamps on these cards, and this is the reason why this video may be a little longer, but I promise you it will be very entertaining.
They built this man, the man that they really worshiped, the man that they handed a microphone and they said, here, take everything, Donald J. Trump. You just take it. We love you. Remember Tim Scott? We just love you. Because yesterday evening, the president of the United States posted a 482-word, unhinged, rambling, deeply personal attack on every single one of these people and more. He called them stupid. He called them losers. He called them nut jobs. He said that they had low IQs.
But here's the funny part to all of this. He calls them losers, but he said he likes to be surrounded by losers because it makes him feel better about himself.
He said that they have third-rate podcasts. And then this is my personal favorite, okay? My personal favorite is that Donald Trump said that he doesn't return their calls anymore because he's too busy on the world and country affairs. You just screwed up the whole world, the economy, because you weren't maybe busy enough trying to read and understand world politics and diplomacy and foreign affairs that you just screwed the world's economy.
I just had a funny thought. Like, everybody has had this experience in one form or another where you get either a breakup letter, or let's just call it a breakup letter, not a letter where somebody wants to get back together with you and then they write 18 pages front and back.
She wants me to take responsibility for everything that went wrong in our relationship. I mean, she goes on for 5 pages about how I was unfaithful to her. We were on a break!
Oh my God, if you say that one more time, I'm gonna break up with you.
Imagine getting something like this, some unhinged text. And I know everybody has gotten it in one form or another. Would you want to read all of that? I talked about this in my coaching channel. There was a woman who posted some unhinged voice note because I called somebody a clout chaser. Meanwhile, she was throwing her under the bus, saying she was like some kind of a jealous person who wanted to be like everybody else but herself. But when she turned out to be a clout chaser and I called her out on it, she goes and sends this unhinged voice note on it. Who is going to listen to that? No one who is not my mother is going to yell at me for saying something that I'm calling out. So when you are looking at something like this unhinged post, who wants to go through that? You should come to the realization when people do shit like that, they are just fucking crazy. That's the bottom line.
He's too busy working on the world and country affairs. The man who spent 482 words posting about podcasters is too busy for phone calls. He just showed how stupid he is. I'm too busy to call them back, but I can write this whole long epic soliloquy about how much I hate them and how stupid they are. Okay. Now, look, before we go any further, I need you to understand this, and I mean understand it plainly. I want you to hear me, okay? I am not here at all to defend any of these despicable people. Not Tucker, not Megan, not Candace, not Alex Jones, not Nick Fuentes, and not Marjorie Taylor Greene. None of them. These are not good people. They have never been good people, and I want you just, think about, I'll get back to that. We're going to come back to that. What you are watching right now is not a redemption arc. This is not moral courage. This is not like the good guys are finally standing up and realizing it. And they're not, if they wanted to be that, they would have done that in 2024 and said, nope, we're not going through this.
I'm going to tell you what it is. These are people who developed a platform to grift off of other people by selling you lies. And everybody does it in one form or another. If you hear anyone come up with this grand idea and it sounds too good to be true, it may just be too good to be true. It's like a multi-level marketing scam. Oh yeah, if you get 3 people, those 3 people can work underneath you and you will get a commission from everything that they sell. And meanwhile, everyone is struggling. Nobody is selling anything. You're not making money. But the person on the top of the pyramid scheme is the one making money because you're giving fees and donations of whatever the fuck, like a membership fee, to get more information, more classes. It's all bullshit. The only person that's making money is the person on the top. And instead of just saying, I'm stupid, or even if they don't want to call themselves stupid. I say that because I understand what it is to be on the receiving end of being scammed by somebody who wants to be in a relationship with you, but really wants to use you for your resources and what it is that you have. Also known as shit show Shane. I said what I said. So when you have this experience, it's easy to pass the buck and blame it on others. Because why does anyone want to take responsibility in saying, I got used, I was fooled? Instead of just saying that, imagine how much of a better person you would look like if you just humbly admit, I was fooled and then I was fooling you. I may have not been fooling you on purpose, even though I don't give these people that much credit. They were fooling you on purpose, and they're never going to take responsibility.
They're getting their comeuppance. The bill has come due, and I want them to pay every single cent of it with tariffs on top of it. A toll. With the tolls, the amount of money that you have to pay to get through the Hormuz Strait right now. So let's start at the beginning, okay? Shall we start at the beginning? Because grifters leave receipts. As you hit the like and thumbs up, tell me. Grifters leave receipts, okay? Candace Owens praising Donald Trump.
When I met him, I can't explain it. He makes you feel like he's a blue collar person that's been driving garbage trucks his entire life. The way that I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Like the way he communicates with people, you do not feel that he's this elite, untouchable billionaire that comes from a wealthy family at all. And when he looks at you, he wants you to feel seen. He's very funny. That's the thing that I think gets lost, is how hilarious he is. I mean, he breaks the ice. There's not an awkward moment when you're with him. I remember walking into the Oval Office the first time that I met him, and I was so nervous. And one of the worst things, I love you. I watch you on Fox News, all this stuff. And then he says, and I want to say also, you're very beautiful, but I don't want to get me too'd. I don't want to get me too'd. Like, that's very funny for the president of the United States to say in the Oval Office at the height of the Me Too movement. It's just funny.
It's just funny. Oh my God, this is so rich. The chickens are coming home to roost and they is ugly. And speaking of ugly, right? In 2018, Candace posted this word for word. I truly believe that Donald Trump isn't just the leader of the free world, but the savior of it as well. May God bless America, the last stand for Western civilization. That's what she said about Donald Trump, the savior. Not that he's a good president, not a good president, the savior of Western civilization.
Oh, man. So this is, I'm editing in my head as I'm doing this, because I believe that he at some point does the receipts at the end of everything that they're saying about Donald Trump now. So the next one he goes into is Tucker Carlson. Now we all know how much we love Tucker Carlson and his demons. So we're gonna play Tucker Carlson. But I just want to say with Candace Owens, I don't know where to begin. To be honest, I covered Candace and Erica Kirk when Charlie Kirk was killed, and they have their own riffraff thing going on, which I'm not quite understanding. I mean, Erica Kirk is a whole other grifting topic that we know. And these people, this is the only way I can put it. I've mentioned this story before. There's a book called Miss Susie. It's a children's book. And in this book, towards the end, there is a band of red squirrels who went into Miss Susie's house and infiltrated her house without her permission. And while at some point they were all working together, towards the end of the book, when the soldiers came to save Miss Susie's house, they were fighting amongst themselves and didn't see the soldiers coming. This is what's happening right now. And it's amazing how a children's book will depict and show you the laws of probability when you make choices. This is something that MAGA doesn't have a sense of. They are just following along the same way the followers followed Jim Jones. They followed him into a country that they had no knowledge about. Jim Jones did not lift one finger to help them put what they were trying to put together, as far as like building houses, building whatever that they needed in order for them to live and survive in a foreign country that they've never been to. These people sold everything. And look at what happened to them in the end. And the ones who could escape, still living with that craziness. How could they ever trust anybody ever again? And we have the same thing happening now. I can't even look at people, strangers on the street, not knowing who they voted for and can they be trusted. Donald Trump has made this world where we don't know who to trust. We don't know who's telling the truth. We don't know who's lying to us. We don't know who is the wolf in sheep's clothing. And these people with this back and forth, they only make it worse.
Carlson, once upon a time on Donald Trump.
I think Donald Trump's singular contribution to this country and the world is by his presence exposing a lot of things a lot of us believed as fraudulent, as lies. It's changed my life watching it. But the single biggest lie that Donald Trump has exposed is that this is a functional democracy, when in fact, it's a country oppressed by a small group of its unhappiest citizens for their own benefit. And the promise of this campaign is that Donald Trump will return this country to its owners. And that's its population, that's its people, that's its citizens. And I pray fervently that that happens. I mean it. That's why I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
And I just need to also say this. What a poor choice of words. Putting this country back to its owners. Do you remember what it was like back in the day when slavery was alive and well, and in some forms it still is, where Black people were being forced to work against their will, being killed and whipped, and whatever else that these white plantation owners were doing to women. Don't even get me started.
Aww. Aww. And did you see Tulsi Gabbard there? Just, oh my God, he's going to return it to his rightful owners. And I'm just so happy to be here. Tucker Carlson, for years, his entire platform was a nightly infomercial for Donald Trump and MAGA. He personally helped get J.D. Vance picked as the vice president. Did you guys know that? Let's not forget all that. He interviewed Trump more lovingly than most people interview or speak to their grandparents at Thanksgiving. I love him so much. I mean, look, Todd Blanche has already said, thank you, Mr. President. Please, sir, may I have another? I love you. Please, sir, may I have...
That's how stupid these people are. The stupidity is on levels. This is the reason why I found that little trick with my channel that you have to subscribe in order for you to comment, because I refuse to participate in reading or even giving any MAGA a platform trying to explain their racism and their hatred. There's no room for that here. And as far as your religion is concerned, you are not a religious person. You do not love God. You don't know who Jesus is, if he ever existed. So don't even use that as an excuse. You are a poor excuse of a human being if you feel the need to explain your hatred. Now let's move on to our favorite conspiracy theorist, Alex Jones.
The voice of reason and truth. And let me tell you something about Donald Trump that maybe no one knows. We all knew it. I'm doing my best Stephen A. Smith right now. We all knew it, sucker. We all knew it. Now you are just... Sorry, I digress. But it's true. I mean, maybe you need that kind of bombast right now. Where have you been? And now Alex Jones wants to throw his hat into the ring. Alex Jones, love fest.
Trump is so fire-breathing.
It's already good.
So energetic, so cunning, so real. And he's having results so amazing.
I need to say this before we finish stupid Alex Jones. Look at all the hair he had at some point. All that stress made him lose his hair for freaking lying all day long with conspiracy theories and his Infowars.com bullshit.
That it just makes me be endeared to Trump. I'm ready to die for Trump at this point.
Idiot.
And I'm already ready to die for America. It's the same feeling I have for America because he is America. You're America.
Oh! Huh? Now. No, tell me in the comments, is there very many people that you would die for? I mean, would you die for a politician?
Nope. The levels of stupidity. I knew a person, it reminded me of another story. When I was living in New York City, there was a man who owned a bar. It was in Lower Manhattan. He was looking for people to have events. It was downstairs. It was very quaint. It was nice. It had couches. You could have nice events there if you wanted to. If you wanted to do like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday kind of a thing, and you were a promoter, this was a good place. Now, apparently there was a girl who had a party there. I don't know what she was trying to do, but the people she had there were unsavory characters. And while the bar owner was explaining how he didn't like the people that she brought there in promotion of whatever it is that she was doing, he would die for her. And I'm like, really? Why? Like, listen to how stupid you sound. This girl is irrelevant to the community, and you're talking about you would die for her? It's kind of like the same thing here. Donald Trump would not die for anyone. If anything, he would throw every person under the bus to save himself. And you know what? You don't need proof. We're living proof right now. All right. So now we're going to continue with Alex Jones now retracting all of the bullshit that he was talking about back whenever he had hair.
Oh my gosh. And then they would get mad when you would talk about these people and you call them crazy conspiracy theorists or whatever it is. And I don't like to throw that term crazy around, but you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just have to say what it is. Alex Jones, who spent decades telling millions of followers that Trump was the one man standing between America and total collapse. This week, Alex Jones was on air in tears, calling Trump a dementia risk who must be removed from office. And he said, "I'm just so sad that whatever's happened to him has totally changed the man he once was." Roll it.
I think he's got early onset of dementia. We're seeing all the signs, the swollen ankles, all of it, and the babbling and changing stories 5 times a day. It's so sad. We're not pleased about this, but we have a responsibility to the truth. We're not in a personality cult. We like Trump because he was doing a lot of good things.
So when Trump is calling for wiping out whole civilization, something that is really indefensible, even though people are trying to defend it, I see people on the news now. I see the sound bites of people trying to defend politicians. Donald Trump, well, we know the president, he's not what it means, and he's when you're in the middle of it, it's like all of that. So when he is saying that he's going to just exterminate, which is a genocide and a war crime, whole civilizations, and acting like a supervillain, you have to come out and say you don't support it. That's what he says, right? Alex Jones is sad. Alex Jones, and there are other words that you can say about him. Alex Jones, the man who told grieving Sandy Hook parents their murdered children never existed, is sad and disappointed.
I want to say this about Alex Jones because he is a despicable human being. There were children who were killed. They were assassinated. And he tried to make the whole thing like it was make-believe. It was a setup. The parents were living their lives with their children. School shootings are very real. And when you have a person who's telling you otherwise, this is the reason why I have trouble respecting people when they bring up these conspiracies and there isn't anything behind that conspiracy. Because in essence, conspiracy theories are supposed to be fun. It's kind of like that scary story time where it has like your brain thinking about things, but it's not supposed to be taken seriously. And I see a lot of it on social media, like somebody will take one thing and go down this rabbit hole and it becomes unrealistic. You lose the whole focus of the story. Like, we don't care about the Fruit of the Loom logo anymore. If you're still worried about that, then you've lost everything when it comes to being in touch with reality. Those things are not important. It's fun and you should laugh at it. But at the end of the day, when you take conspiracy theories on a whole other level that affects a whole entire family or community, somebody like Alex Jones was held accountable because you just don't do shit like that. And he is a terrible human being. And if you think it was over with that whole sob story about dementia ridden and we may need to remove it, it just gets even worse.
Alex Jones, and there are other words that you can say about him. Alex Jones, the man who told grieving Sandy Hook parents their murdered children never existed,
Okay, I could delete all
is sad and disappointed. And then is this the Alex Jones? Is this him sad and disappointed? Let's play Alex Jones sad and disappointed. Here he is.
It's done. But at the end of the day, I just feel sorry for him and pray that God touch his heart and soul and free him from the demonic influences that he's under. I mean, it's just that simple. This is a nightmare. We know the Democrats, the left, are absolutely terrible, but when Trump's calling for wiping out whole civilizations and acting like a supervillain, I have to come out and say I don't support it. Yeah. It's that simple. So again, Trump's own wife came out in an unannounced press conference today and said the Epstein crimes are real and that she wants the victims to be in front of Congress and the cover-up to end. That's the opposite of what Trump's saying. Looks to me like she's breaking with Trump because she knows the ship's sinking, has found out the truth. Elon left 8 months ago saying he's in the files as a cover-up. I never saw any evidence of it, but he's acting like he's guilty. We know he's protecting Howard Lutnick, who said he didn't know Epstein didn't go to the island, and he did. So all I can say is this is a terrible day, and it's a nightmare for America and the world, but I'm going to tell the truth, reporting the facts, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you can't figure out that these people are grifters, just from this little bit, and I'm not even done yet, if you can't figure that out, then come on. You're a boo-boo the fool.
And there's more. Now we're going to move on to, I'm like trying to read my notes over here. I'm wondering if we should move on to our favorite, Megyn Kelly. I think we should move on to her. And let's see what she had to say about Trump in the beginning.
And Megyn Kelly forgets when she says that, because now this week she is saying that Donald Trump is a bad person. Do we have the Megyn Kelly thing where she's like going, and that, oh my God, just stop the madness, stop the hysteria. This is her grift. Here she is just a couple of days ago.
Now, as you can imagine, that post did not go over well with the Iranians or with many Americans. I mean, I don't know about you, but I am sick of this shit. I'm sick of it.
Are you?
Can't he just behave like a normal human? I mean, honestly, like the president, 3D chess, shut up. Fucking shut up about that shit. You don't threaten to wipe out an entire civilization. We're talking about civilians just casually in a social media post. You know, like I am the first to try to understand Trump and his strategy and to not freak out over his weird social media posts and language that is loose and incendiary. Truly, I've lived with it for 10 plus years. I learned it the hard way when I was on the receiving end
enough
of it.
of her. She learned it the hard way. No, you didn't learn it, Megyn Kelly, because if you had learned it the hard way, then you wouldn't be kissing his ass. You wouldn't have gone back to kissing his ass. And you would not have gone back to this when he ran the second time. You eventually supported him the first time, I do believe. And then if you actually learned your damn lesson, dumbass, you would not have done some shit like this.
The goodness that is about to rain down on us after Trump is inaugurated tomorrow is already starting, and I've got to tell you, I am so pumped up about it. Things are already happening in anticipation of Trump being sworn in, like Facebook and McDonald's getting rid of their DEI programs. Good for you, McDonald's.
She may as well just say the N-word.
I just need to stop it here for a minute and just remind everyone when I was talking about DEIA in my last video. I can't recall right now which video that was, but how stupid does she sound when she's talking about getting rid of DEIA programs? Let's just start with the accessibility, which helped people who were or who are wheelchair bound to get access to buildings and offices. So are we going to start tearing down those ramps and force people to climb upstairs, especially if they're paraplegic and they can't move their legs? Or are we going to help them step by step, like pulling up the chair, like you would with a shopping cart or a carriage? Are we going to start doing that? Why was DEI made? It wasn't made for people of color. It actually protected white women in the workplace. And everybody just seems to forget that. They actually believe that DEI, which stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion, has to do with Black people. Women were the ones who benefited from this. It made an environment that if somebody wanted to wear a hijab at work to honor their religion, they can do that without being discriminated. It meant that a person who may be wheelchair bound but has the experience, maybe working in IT, they weren't excluded because they were in a wheelchair. Where are your critical thinking skills? Think, McFly, think. This is what it does. And when you're saying, oh yeah, we're doing away, why do you think people started boycotting places like Target or McDonald's or any other place that did away with their program? And then these businesses started to feel the effects. I don't know if they're feeling the effects now, but I'll tell you this much. If you're going to make a commitment in boycotting, it should be done in unison. Somebody had given me a good idea. Like pick a weekend where people are boycotting maybe Chick-fil-A Friday and Saturday for a whole month. Don't go there. I'm just using Chick-fil-A as an example because Chick-fil-A, I think, is, leans more to the right. Any businesses who support politics that aren't for the people. And everyone seems to forget that. You're all in rah, rah. And then women who want to have babies and come out pregnant while they're still employed, the employer could say, good luck to you. We'll have Billy, Jim, Joe, Bob take your place. Because after all, You need to be a mom and be there for your children. Oh, but what about my job? I can come back X amount of time. No need. We don't need you anymore. So when you say rah rah to take away DEIA, you're taking away from yourself, stupid.
You, Kamala Harris. Really? No, not really.
Feel me? You feel me?
Wasn't true. You got universities from University of Michigan to North Carolina to all the public universities in Iowa, all the public universities in Texas getting rid of DEI. You have got, yes, you've got a bill that passed the House this week, the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. Yes. Now, it passed once before, but this time we control the Senate. We have a much better shot.
Woo! We control the Senate. Did somebody elect her? This time, we control the Senate.
Look, there is no secret that I cannot stand this woman. This is the same woman who was sitting there talking about, well, I know men who like women on the younger side. I mean, they're not 8 years old. But 15 is acceptable? I mean, just explain to me, what is the difference between an 8-year-old and a 15-year-old who is still considered a minor? You think a 15-year-old will still know the difference? Look at all those models that I covered in my Epstein video. They were all looking for a dream. They had no idea that they would be shipped over to another country with another person by the name of Jean-Luc Brunel, who was running a modeling agency. What about Gerard Marie? What about John Casablancas? What about all of those people who dated women on the younger side? Did you hear their stories? Those are horror stories. They're not very good stories. They don't have happy endings. And let me just remind everyone again how Jean-Luc Brunel also had an untimely ending in a jail cell 2 years after Jeffrey Epstein. Are you going to tell me they conveniently did that to themselves on purpose? I don't think so. Now we're going to move on to her talking about Fox News.
Remember how Megyn Kelly put it this week? I'm just sick of it, right? But also, listen to what she did just before she said, I'm sick of it. This was like a day or two before she said, I'm just sick of this shit. So just watch this grift.
Honestly, Trump could drop a nuke and I'd still vote Republican over those people because
You're
they
an idiot voter.
in some ways, I really am. But honestly, what they want to do is nuke our own country. You know, it's like the open border, what they're doing to children, all that stuff is still they would do it all if put back in power. And I think most Republicans know that.
You guys have to, just because these people are like fast talkers and they have a platform, you think that they are smart. They're not. They're not. Candace Owens is the same way. Oh my God, Candace is so smart. No, they're just fast talkers. And they just say what people want. Here's Megyn Kelly. Let's play it.
Fox News is insufferable right now. Insufferable. I was there for 14 years. I've already told my audience, if I were a Fox News anchor right now, I'd know exactly what to do. Cheerlead. That's it. It's all about rah, 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 go military. That's what's patriotic. Praise the president, support the troops, support the war, day in, day out. This morning, who do they put on? Mike Pompeo to kick off the day's coverage. Lindsey Graham all over Fox News over the weekend. It's utterly unhelpful to go. Like today, obviously, I've come out and said how I honestly feel because I owe that to my audience. But today we're going to have both sides on to help people actually make up their own minds. You will not find that over on Fox News. They've got one mission, and that's to support these military groups, the military itself, and President Trump. It's just folly. It's folly, Sir, and it's a fool's errand.
Let's keep in mind that Megyn Kelly is employed through Sirius XM. So no matter what she says, she's still going to get paid. She has a contract with them. She's getting paid the big bucks to talk all the shit that she wants. She's not thinking about her audience. She's not thinking about their well-being. She's not thinking about how people are struggling to eat or pay a bill. See, I know this because I work during the day with patients who cry to me on the phone about the struggles that they are having. She doesn't get to hear that. She's talking on a microphone all day long and not getting feedback from people who are struggling. She's not thinking about them. She will not ever think about them. Do you see her at a food bank? Do you see her donating her time? If these people really want to show change, you show change by action. You donate. You give back. You don't sit there and complain. Complaining does absolutely nothing. Or you can be like Nick Fuentes and vote Democrat.
When someone gets rich or whatever, that's when they show you who they are. That's when their real personality comes out. You know what I'm talking about. They've always been awful. The money just enhances it, platforms it, radiates it, rewards it. It pours gasoline on something that was already burning. These are not good people who got corrupted by fame. They were already this. The grift just paid their bills. And now the grift is shifting because opposition gets more clicks than cheerleading in this moment, right? So suddenly Tucker is doing 43-minute manifestos. Candace Owens is calling him a genocidal lunatic. Nick Fuentes is telling Trump supporters to vote Democrat right now. Roll it.
If Republicans keep Congress, what do you think they're going to use it to do? They're going to use it to prevent Trump from being constrained by a war powers resolution. They're going to use it to shut down the Epstein files disclosure. They're going to use it to allocate $1.5 trillion for the military and more wars in the Middle East. That's why I'm voting for the Democrats in 2026. I want to punish the Republicans. I want the Democrats to take the House. I'd like the Democrats to take the Senate. I'd like the Democrats to shut this administration down because this administration is not doing what we want it to do, and it's doing things that we don't want it to do. So I'd like this administration to stop. If they're not going to do mass deportations and they're going to bring us to war in Iran, then I want the Democrats to get in and shut it down. And that's what I'm doing. And that is what we can do. People say, call your congressman. Nobody cares. Vote in 26 for Democrats who are going to shut this administration down and prevent them from doing more harm.
Woo! Now look, young Nick Fuentes, the one that Tucker Carlson insinuated was gay, called him this weird little gay guy. That's what he said. No, he didn't insinuate. He said this weird little gay guy in his basement or something like that. He's saying the right thing. I can't fault him. His message is right. I think he's 100% right, and not for partisan reasons, only because look at the alternative. You know, Megyn Kelly sounds like the opposite side. She sounds like my mom who says, I would vote for a turtle before I would vote for Donald Trump. So look, this is not principle. This is a machine. This is recalibration, right? It's not a redemption arc. They're trying, so do not be fooled by it. Donald Trump is vile. He has always been vile. The people now turning on him helped to build him. They're vile as well. And the moment the wind shifts again, they're going to be right back at it. They praised him when it paid. They're denouncing him now that it pays more. And they'll praise him again the moment that it pays. Because they are awful people. And awful people do what's profitable. Trump called them losers trying to latch onto MAGA. And the only thing wrong with that sentence is that he handed them the ladder to glom onto it as he rose.
So I'm going to end it from here. I will link that live that Don Lemon does. He does a show in the morning and in the afternoon for me, evening for him, because I believe he's located on the East Coast. So I will link that below for you so that you can watch it. There's a lot going on. I mean, I didn't play all of the clips that I wanted to because, like I said, I don't want this to be a long-winded video. My point of putting together this video is to show you what liars these people are. And if you're still sitting there believing them, then maybe go to therapy or something. Because I can't think of anything else to try and convince people. That's not my job. I'm not here to convince anyone, but I will give unsolicited advice, if you will, from my own personal experience, from the experience that I had of being with somebody who was constantly lying every day. He would always come up with this scenario, right? What if I had a boatload of money? What would be the first thing you would want? And that would have me thinking. It would have me thinking to a point that it almost felt like the boatload of money was due to arrive any day. That's how good a grifter narcissist is. They will make your mind believe things that are not real and will never be real. They want to trap you in a world that doesn't exist for their own gain. And when they are done with you, you are left with nothing. They also want to leave you without spirituality, without a soul, without hope. And I think that is the worst thing. This world is going to take a lot to recover from this moment. I was watching a live. I'll end it with this. I was watching a live of this girl. She's very upbeat and she has a lot of motivation, but she did a live. I just happened to go on there. I don't know what made me, like what prompted me, but I'm like, let me just go on and check out what she's doing. And she was crying. I mean, crying that cry, like you are just tired and fed up. And nobody was really in there because, you know, people, when they go into TikTok lives, they want to hear powerful speeches, people filled with hope, or a MAGA and a person on the left going at each other and arguing so they can go and fling coins to them. Why would they want to sit there and listen to somebody who is distressed and crying? No, we can't have that. And I'm being sarcastic, just so you know where people's priorities are at right now. Because it's easy to sit there and listen to someone who sounds powerful and great and filled with hope, as opposed to the one person who is feeling distressed and alone and wondering what is going to happen next. We should all be worried. I'm not saying that we should be crying and feeling distressed day after day. That's not good for the psyche. But if we can be there for the person who's giving us hope, why can't we be there for the person who's feeling distressed? Because we're all going to feel it in one form or another. I know I have. And it's not a good feeling. It's also not a good feeling when you have that one patient that calls and they're talking about, what the fuck is the point? This is the reality of what's going on. So if you're a person sitting there feeling confused, wait, these people were my heroes, Joe Rogan, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones. What are they talking about? Exactly. What are they talking about? They have to protect their assets. And that's what it all comes down to. So with all that being said, this is Maribel Blue signing off. You must be a subscriber if you would like to comment. And as always, remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.